Hey guys, so today's video is going to be my top 5 best and worst products of 2018. Let's start on a high note and go through my top 5 best products of 2018. Number 5 on my list is the Lime Crime plushies. This was released January 10th of 2018, so you barely made it into this year of Lime Crime. But these are so good and they're so innovative, and that's what I really like about them. This is a traditional liquid lipstick, except it doesn't feel like one and it doesn't even really look like one. Somehow Lime Crime managed to make a lip product that actually looks kind of sheer on the lips, but wears exactly like a matte liquid lipstick. So if that's your thing, if you're into the long wearing liquid lipsticks that do not budge no matter what you do all day long, then it's such a good product. So I definitely wanted to include this because I think that in a world of so much makeup, when a brand can come out with something and it can actually honestly sit here and say, that's different, they deserve some respect for it, and it's a great product too. Number 4 on my list is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. You know, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I really think that mascara is extremely personal, and I think that's how you end up with this situation where sometimes you'll see people saying a mascara is their favorite and other people are like, how did you like that? It was absolutely horrible. Well, all of us have different lashes, just like we have different hair and we don't use the same shampoos. But for me, this and kind of NARS Climax were both really good mascaras. This one takes the cake though, because they managed to figure out how to incorporate fibers into this mascara that actually stick to your eyes and don't get into your contacts. Obviously I do wear contacts and that's been such an issue in the past. I like fiber mascaras, but I've dealt with that situation of getting the fibers in your eye, then they slip under your contact lens. Then you have to take your contact lens out, then you have to scrape out off your eyeball all the little fibers. It's not a good situation. This stays. It's a great formula. It really makes your lashes look phenomenal. But it does make me assume that it's probably more for people with thinner eyelashes or thinner hair lashes. You get what I mean, right? Since that is what I have, is pretty thin hair and lashes. But I absolutely love this. I think this was a really great release. Number 3 on my list, Cover FX's Power Play Foundation. This is not, in all truth, my absolute favorite foundation of all time, but again, like the Lime Crime plushies, I think that it deserves some praise for being innovative. This is one of those transfer-proof foundations, which are really hard to find and even way harder to find if you have dry skin. If you have dry skin, you probably use a very humectant, rich foundation that helps your skin to not look so dry. The reason this one is magical is because I can actually wear it. I can actually wear Power Play foundation with my dry skin, on my dry skin bad days. You have dry skin, you know what I mean. And I think that's how this ended up getting such a high rating. You know, foundation is a lot like mascara in that personal preference. Whether you have oily or dry skin, you're gonna like or hate a foundation, but this works for so many people. So I really do enjoy this. I've always liked Cover FX. They have a fantastic shade range too. It's my favorite foundation of 2018. Number 2 on my best list is the Huda Beauty Obsessions Gemstones palettes. So I only have one of these, but I thought I would just go ahead and say all of them because I love this concept. The concept behind these is they're tiny little palettes, $27, but with a lot of product in them, where you pick your color scheme. And I think this was so necessary in 2018, and I think that's why people ended up loving these so much, because we have so many neutral palettes that at this point it kind of becomes, well, I like this color, so I kind of want to get some more palettes in that color range, and so this was perfect. This is of course the one I picked, the Emerald Obsessions. I love it so much because I do love green eyeshadow and purple, but also green. Wearing this one today, the matte in here is a phenomenal matte. I know that not everybody likes this formula, you know, again with the whole personal preference thing, but I do. I think it's a great formula. I think it's easy to work with, and for me that's very important because I'm not Nikki Tutorials. I wish I was, but alas, sadly, I am not. My number 1 pick. I would never have guessed this if you asked me in January of this year, is your favorite pick going to be something from the drugstore? I would not have said yes. But here we are. This BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette is not only an incredibly affordable palette, a gigantic palette, a high quality palette with a little mirror in it, it is, in my opinion, the best palette that was released in 2018. No, I just made this clear. I think it's the best product that was released in 2018 because it's so good. See, this matte formula in here, this is the kind of formula that I paid $80 for to acquire in Viseart's formula, and I'm not upset about that. It was what we had at the time. But in 2018, mattes got so good, and this palette has them. It just has the greatest mattes formula. These shimmers in here, oh, they're so rich and beautiful. Oh, it's such a good palette. It's the kind of thing I feel, maybe because I'm a skeptic myself, I feel like if you've never tried this, you're probably like, what is she talking about? How can a $24 palette be the best thing released all year? It just is. It just is, okay? Absolutely love it. So impressed. So excited for what happens in 2019, to be honest with you. I see that drugstore products have caught up so much, and I'm excited to see them take over more like BH Cosmetics did. Number 5 on my list, this Tarte brush set. This is the last purchase I ever made with Tarte, and I wish that I could have gone out with a bang, but instead I thought I was going to buy these cute little brushes with my gift card, and ugh, what a waste. These are just not good, and it's such a weird situation because it's like Tarte is a higher end or mid-range brand, but AliExpress had mermaid brushes before Tarte did, so it's this case of a real company copying a fake. What? And the end result is it's not good. See how floppy that is? It's just, ugh. They're just so useless, and they're not cheap either. And by the way, have you guys been keeping up with Tarte's continuous goofy AF brush sets? Ugh. Flamingos. You know, the problem with Tarte is that they've been going down this too adventurous path, and I think it's a shame because when they originally had their Amazonian clay products and their focus was this kind of more natural deal, I think the products were good. So now it's just kind of been like, watching Tarte has been like watching that one friend of yours that gets too drunk. You know what I mean? You're at a party with them, you see them drinking too much, and then they are just insistent on going to the dance floor. Next thing you know, you're watching them go off. And oh my God, they're twerking, and they're size 00 jeans. It's not a good look. Nobody thinks it's a good look, Shannon. But what can I say? Because I bought them. So what can I even say, you know? Number 4 on my list is one that I actually returned to the store. It's the only one that I returned to the store. And that is the Becca Skin Love Foundation. My problem with this is that it was a $39 foundation that was so finicky. You'd put this on your skin and it would look absolutely beautiful, but then it would start breaking up and look horrible. It did not wear well at all. And considering you can go and pick up a fantastic $10 foundation from the drugstore, I just saw no reason in the entire world to keep an expensive, finicky, difficult to use foundation. Number 3 on my list is one that I really regret buying because I shouldn't have. Everybody said they were bad. You know, they're $15 palettes, and that's the appeal. You're like, okay, it's $15. I can get these beautiful, different color schemes, not unlike the idea with the Huda Gemstones palettes. But there's a problem with these, and that's the quality is not good. This whole situation with Morphe, my problem with Morphe is, again, if BH Cosmetics can come out with a fantastic, huge, incredible quality palette for $24, why can't you? This is so small. I know it's made in China, not private labeled. I'm sure Morphe has their own factory by now, but it's not a good one. Do I need to be the one to point that out? And don't get me wrong, because you can work with this. You can definitely work with this. You can use a tacky primer, make all the glitters stick. You can lay down a powder before you blend out and all these steps. But the thing is, you don't need to do that. That's kind of what you needed to do with drugstore eyeshadows in 2009. Again, it's 2018. Morphe, it's 2018. Do better with your formula. If other brands can do it, so can you. You know, it's not even that it's the worst palette in the world. It's just that I knew going into it that it was going to be bad, and I could have saved my $15 to get something that I'd actually get joy out of using. Again, I know that some people enjoy that one, so I know it's difficult, but don't get me wrong, I like Jaclyn Hill, and in all with all due respect, I've got to admit I learned so much from her videos. Number 2 on my list is the Karl Lagerfeld and Model Co. second release. I didn't buy anything in the first, but I wanted to buy in this release, and this is the heated eyelash curler. I was very excited for this because I'm scared of eyelash curlers. I know. The reviews on this product said that it breaks. Now here's the thing. I am not good at electronics. If there's a way to break an electronic device, I will find it. So why, pray tell, did I buy this after reading those reviews? Did I think that this was going to be some exception to history and that for once I was not going to break an electronic device that everybody else has broken? Or it breaks on its own, whichever it is. I guess it's just the problem with this must be that the heating element and the plastic don't get along too well, because yeah, it broke on about the 3rd use. Of course it did. It did for everybody. You gotta not think that you're above other people in the reviews, you know what I'm saying? And then they sent out this free brush, and this is basically the same. Nope, this one's floppier. This is still a terrible brush. Oh, and it came out of the packaging. I don't know if you can see this, but this silver coating is off it. Now, this was free, so I can't complain too much, but I see why it was free. I guess it was originally supposed to be sold separately, but they're like, oh, that's so bad, we better give it away. So I guess I'm glad I got this stuff at 50% off because I did buy it from an international company. Wish I'd waited till it was 75% off or maybe 90% off. Do cosmetics hit 90% off in Europe? I don't know. They sure do here. All right, my number 1 worst product released in 2018. Now, to be clear, I don't think this is the worst product of all time, but it's the most disappointing product to me, and that's none other than the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. Here's why I hate this. See, Benefit did this huge hype campaign thing for this mascara, and, of course, initially everybody's like, it's the greatest thing ever. So I ran out and bought it because it sounded like a great idea. I mean, this, very flexible wand, this precision applicator, whatever, it sounds great. Problem is, it's a big pain in the behind. So I worked with this for so long, just like applying it and then brushing out my lashes and then applying it and then brushing out my lashes and then applying it and then brushing out my lashes and then applying it, and then you get the idea. It was awful. It was so time consuming, but I kept using it because I was like, it can't be bad. Benefit's They're Real is one of my favorite mascaras of all time. Benefit's Roller Lash, one of my favorite mascaras of all time. How can a company that has been so good at mascaras release something this frustrating? Then I was testing out some other mascara. I think it was the Essence mascara, maybe some drugstore mascara. I put it on, looked in the mirror, and realized it looked great. And it was in that moment that I realized how much of my time I'd been giving to this mascara that I bought for $24. It's not worth it. Time is value, and this for me was just too clumpy, and that's why I had to keep combing it out. I'm sure that it works on some lashes, and in the case of this, I'd actually suspect that it works better on lashes with more texture, just because it does have such a slide, and that was where I was running into the problems. There's no grip whatsoever to this. So that's probably great if your lashes get caught on other mascaras. You might love this, but for me, it was just a huge no, and then everybody else started coming out saying, actually, I hate that mascara too, and we all realized that we had all silently been sitting there saying to ourselves, does this suck? Am I the only one that thinks this hyped mascara sucks? I can't admit it. It can't be true. So yeah, I really hope that in 2019, that we stop being so afraid to say that things aren't working for us. Because, every video I put up where I put up a negative opinion, I really do have to say, I'm sorry if you love this. You have to do that just because people get so upset. And then that's how it takes us so long to realize situations like this. So I really hope that we can have a community in 2019 where people kind of just respect each other's opinions more. Wouldn't that be so beautiful? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a like and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.